JRE novel series. Pro JRE Production presents the BR novel series. Chapter 1, Bulk Hulk. 3 days ago, the three musketeers were on the street, taking a ride after lunch. After a while of driving in the area, they came across a poster from BR. The poster was written, BR Debut Commercial Undertaking, and the sales of the BR speakers on the music event. The three musketeers took the information of the venue and date and were plotting to pitch up on the day of BR Enterprise music event. And when the date of the music event was due, Bulk Requiem woke up in a hotel next to the show he will be performing at. The week was exhausting for him. 7 days ago he was in the local area taking photographs with friends and fans, and signing his signature in the guest room, with many people bringing objects by him to get it signed. The approximate number of invitees was at least 1,000 people, but more came. And he attended approximately a number of 1,200 people at the end of the day. He didn't get enough time to do rehearsal of dance, instrumental mix and raps, and the date has come where he has to perform in front of thousands of people again. After a week of graveyard working shifts, the final activity was to perform on the show, the BR Debut Commercial Undertaking show. The show will begin at 4 p.m. till late. BR Debut Commercial Undertaking, a music event, and the theme of the event was strictly business. He was selling the BR speakers on the show. It's a fact of greatness. If he can attend more than 1,000 people to sign his signature, the show will be remarkable. Usually before he gets to the venue of his shows, he loves space-time. 1 hour of time to free his mind and tune into his universal dimension, to catch a connection of the voice within that will speak to him truth, and get a blessing for the music performance moment. And when he stepped into stage, he was performing. After 3 hours of performance, BR was in the zone and delivering bars, and the audience were enjoying the setup of the rap show. Outside of the arena, the three musketeers arrived with bodyguards, and the main plan was to take down BR as soon as you see him on stage. The bodyguards came inside the arena and people were having fun. The enemies got in the territory and they began to go in front of the stage, and when Gig, Vidi Rare and Rung got to the front with the bodyguards, they climbed the stage, point guns at the dance performers, took out guns and began to shoot, and shot fire in the air. BR heard the noise of frightening and screaming of fans with AK-47 and Mach-11 gunshots. He was refreshing in the restroom. He opened the door to check what was going on, and saw 3 bodyguards with guns on the corridor. He quickly rushed to get his jacket and device, and ran out the room with a sprint space. The bodyguards ran after him, shooting at him. BR was ducking and dodging bullets until he curved to find the back door. After 4 minutes of leading off the arena building, fans were running outside trying to leave the show. Some fans thought BR had enough money to perform a Hollywood thriller with more than 16 men shooting multiple bullets in the air multiple times for the past 10 minutes. Bulk on the far side of the stage, he jumped the wall and began to jog at the road behind the arena. The quite dark street, and for the past 50 minutes he's been jogging. He saw the cars of the three musketeers and the guards coming towards him from a far distance. He got in the bush where there was a tons of trees and ran until the river next to the bush. He took a rest after reaching and running out of breath. He found the situation hopeless. He called Professor Walterson's phone to come and rescue him, but the professor was not in the laboratory. The least BR could do was to leave a message, and when the professor gets it he will respond. More lights from the guards and big vans were coming towards the river to check. BR jumped inside the river to cross on the other side of the bush. As soon as he managed to get to the other side of the bush, he ran and found a tree where he was able to climb and stay. The guards and the musketeers got to the river, with a big lamp torch in each vehicle, slowly looking for BR. Rung told a number of guards to cross the river and go search for Bulk Requiem. The guards took a walk in the dark bush, and passed BR in one of the trees that he's hiding at. 8 hours later, before the light of the morning, BR was still on top of the tree and fell asleep till the afternoon, during broad daylight, and the hot climate did not favor the environment. After a few minutes of standing, he fell on the ground and began to hallucinate, and woke up after hours sailing in the Congo River with Professor Walterson boats, where he has a laboratory that he shares with the scientist that transforms the Hulk. The laboratory experimental project of the gamma radiation that transforms humans into mutant. The Gamma have a record of transforming Hulk, when he was exposed to a large dose of gamma radiation. This exposure triggered a drastic change in his body, leading to his superhuman abilities. So the trio arrived in the laboratory and got in the scientist operation after sailing in the Congo River. The professor had a laboratory next to the river. Haps and Requiem were touring the laboratory and learning the machine in the lab. While Professor Walterson was preparing the Gamma for Bulk Requiem to get inside of it, as soon as it was ready, he called Haps and Requiem to introduce the Gamma to them. When they got to the machine, Professor Walterson says, "Guys, I want to introduce you to the excellent Gamma machine." This Gamma machine was essentially the source of the gamma radiation that Bruce Banner was exposed to. The massive dose from the machine caused the mutation in his body, altering his DNA and giving him the incredible powers and dual personality of the Hulk. And this very machine that we are looking at right now, it's the machine that Requiem will get in for that very purpose. Bulk Requiem says, "There's no way in hell I'm getting in there. I'm no Hulk to get his superhuman abilities," Professor Walterson says. Maybe because you're not aware of knowledge behind the Gamma. See, the science study approves the gamma radiation works with how the user programs it. The programming of the Hulk in the software system is not same as your program. The emotional structure of the being in a human body, the exposure to gamma radiation causes Banner to transform into the Hulk, whenever enraged or when his heart rate rises above 200 beats per minute. His anger in extreme mode takes him there. Your system was having programming in a singing emotions BR. The system is specially made with a program for a Requiem. When he creates a moment with his singing emotions and the sound of his voice takes him to his mutant transformation. However, the gamma rays can produce whatever effects you need it to. It can create abominations or founding members of the Avengers. Bulk Requiem listening to Professor teaching about the gamma radiation and astonished to the studies behind it, and says to Professor, "What if I don't make it while the processing of gamma radiation is taking place?" Haps says, "Dude, you always afraid. I can't believe we found you alive when we got to the emergency button of your location. I never thought you would manage to escape from the danger you were in." Requiem tells Haps to shut up. But Haps was in the mood to talk more, and he says, "I bet if you knew your past well, you would have handled the situation more wisely. I would like to tell you about your history. Your dad and your siblings, Requiem's past, honestly, about your dad, how he was born in the Congo and his music career drive in an international land scale, succeeding to have mutant music superpower. You could be walking onto the same journey. Do you have any clue of what I'm talking about?" Requiem says, "I don't know my dad. My mom said he left us at home for governmental duties and haven't returned ever since then." And Requiem asks Professor Walterson, "When were you planning to put me in the gamma radiation?" Professor Walterson says, "We could start tonight in the middle of the night, in the most silent time on Earth. For a smooth operational results, it will be instantaneous for the results. It wouldn't take long before you are exposed to the gamma radiation. Not like Wolverine in the Weapon X program, which involves other procedure that could take quite some time." And so the time came in the middle of the night where Bulk Requiem have to get in the gamma radiation machine. And Professor Walterson and Haps were ready to put him in the program. When Requiem was well positioned for the machine to start, Professor Walterson says, "Lastly, knowledge about the machine. All radiation exists somewhere along the electromagnetic spectrum. Figuring out where a particular packet of radiation belongs on the spectrum depends on its frequency and wavelength. At one end of the scale, you'll find large wavelength radiation like radio, microwave, and infrared. Gamma rays are pure energy, like the photons which make up visible light, but way stronger. The excess energy, when combined with his mutant DNA, transforms Bruce into a giant green rage monster every time he gets angry. His third and fourth transformation got him 12 feet tall, and when carrying on as mutant, the Hulk reaches a towering height of 15 feet. Gamma rays originate from a variety of sources in both the Marvel Universe and the real world. Your program will result you in having an angelic being's wings when the gamma machine works in your body. You can permanently have mutant superpowers, successfully turning into a mutant when creating a moment with your singing voice emotions. Depending on how important you created the moment of your singing emotions, it should successfully turn you into one. Are you ready for the transformation of your life? B. R says he's ready to the professor, and the professor began with the procedure of the radiation machine. The gamma radiation was connected to Bulk Requiem's body, and the professor turned on the power button for it to begin. And Requiem's body connected to gamma machine began shaking the place, and a dynamic move in laboratory dropped the shelf substances around, and objects in the lab were scattered as a tremendous move of the electric from the machine moved everything in the lab when the gamma and the body was shaking. After 10 minutes of that powerful moment, everything stopped. The machine stops working, the body stops moving, the lab suddenly got free from noise, and it was silence. Professor Walterson gets up to check if BR is okay, and saw he was lying down in the machine with his eyes closed. He takes Requiem out of the machine and places him in the recovery room to wait for him to wake up. When he woke up, Haps and the professor were fixing the lab, and asks them what happened. "How did I come out of the machine? How did I get here?" Haps says, "Wow, you are awake. We were waiting for you to recover so we see if the mutant experimentation worked in your body." He asks Professor, "So how would it work, sir? You said if he creates a moment when he sings emotionally he will be able to turn into a mutant." Professor Walterson says, "Yes, that's right. That's exactly what would happen. Wouldn't you want to try to create that moment?" Requiem says, "All right, let's try." And so fixed the tone of his voice, and Requiem sang,
Requiem sang, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. But didn't turn into a mutant. Sang again, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do.
But didn't turn into a mutant. Haps says, "How come that couldn't give us the result we expecting?" Professor Walterson says, "I do believe a mutant moment have to be more epic than this. If you're going to create a moment that turns you into a mutant, you have to be in a fighting moment. Be involved in a epic fight and create a moment with your singing emotions, and the mutant transformation will work." Haps say, "Wow, so where should we take BR for a fight to get the mutant result?" Requiem says, "I have to be out in public again. I have to get hold of my manager to find out where he's at. Let me call Brass and arrange an appointment with him." He gets the telephone in the lab and calls Brass. And Brass answers the phone, and asks, "Where have you been all this time? I've been looking for you in California." Requiem says, "It's a long story. I needed a favor. Could you arrange me a fighting match in California and I will be there for the fight? Bet $500,000 on the fight and I will be there no matter the circumstances? Brass says good. I will do that and I will get back to you when I manage to get that done. Bulk, Requiem and Haps will be using one of the small-size aeroplane in the professor's garage to fly to California, and Professor Walterson remains in the laboratory while Haps and Requiem are on the adventure of turning into a mutant with the moment they will create in public. As soon as they landed in California, they located towards the manager's location and got to the destination of where Brass was situated. They met after a while of not being able to carry on together. Brass and Bulk Requiem were both happy to meet each other and began the conversation of what happened all this time when Bulk Requiem was away. Requiem told Brass the full story on what happened and the mutant gamma radiation machine experimentation. And so all they had to do as a team is to organize a fighting match to create the singing emotion moment. Brass says to BR he did manage to get a fight that bets on $500,000. And the wrestling management did offer a number of options. If it's against the champion, it will take 6 months before the fight. The fight we can have this month in the wrestling organization is a handicap match. Should we take the fighting match schedule for this month? Requiem says yes. I'm ready to create that moment as soon as next week. Brass made arrangement for the fight and the day came where BR has to be in a fighting handicap match. He got to the match with his music manager Brass. He will be on a wrestling match, a handicap match of Plot and his indigenous father on a tag team match against one opponent. The new wrestler in the world of wrestling business, the Requiem Records owner, Bulk Requiem. Before the match begins, Requiem asks the commentators to pass him the mic. He began talking to his opponent. The two wrestlers challenging him heard enough of him teasing them while he's speaking. The wrestler Plot attacks him with a chair and the father, who is also a wrestler, got a stick to whip BR when he's down. They both got BR on the floor and whipped BR with a steel chair and the stick. Requiem manages to get away from the ring, takes the microphone along with him and instructs Brass, his manager, to drop the beat of the song he will be performing. Brass connects the device to the speakers and turns the volume to the max for the instrument of the song to play loud, while Requiem will say some verse on the instrument. And Requiem tells the people watching, I know you didn't expect this type of entertainment in a wrestling match, but I won't take too long with it. He gets back in the ring and started performing his emotional verse, and he said, verse.
There's no one that can match me.
I deserve a bragging right for the graveyard shift, morning shift, till evening shift. 12-hour program cannot be dished. Tomorrow, hardcore game the stage. I'm on the ring. Rappers with the game. I'm married. I'ma grab your hip-hop bitch, and she'll request a divorce after the wedding. My style authentic. I made hip-hop fall in love with me. I fuck with hip-hop, now you fuck with me. Rock with me, be our effect. Wave is godly, sing it boldly. Young legend and I'm Congolese. Bragging rights sounds so weak, sounds so mean. Let it live, let I pay the cost to be busting. Plus thing, it's good thing. The best thing, ball gang. Holy shit, about to go crazy on the field with our bitch. I start so sing, so sophisticated, drip. Is what it is, I lost it. Yeah. I deserve a bragging right for my shit. For I deserve a bragging right to brag it right. For what I serve every night, I deserve a bragging right. The chef make me serve every tonight. I get to serve bragging right tonight. Bragging right. I deserve a bragging right. I deserve a bragging right. Tight. Mike. Yo, right. The future right. I deserve a bragging right. Tight. Deserve a bragging right. Yeah.
Perfect.
as soon as he was done with the verse to rejuvenate back to the fight. Suddenly he dropped onto his knees because he caught that strange feeling, and began to breathe heavily while looking at the both opponent with the most angriest face impression, and his body began moving. Behind his back his jacket began to tear and white wings started coming out in front of the opponent he was facing. And the crowd who were watching the match caught amazement in the emotional scene they have just witnessed from the wrestling match. The majority of the people who were watching the match started running out of the wrestling arena. Humans who were in there never thought they will have sight of the day where human turns into a superhuman being in front of their eyes. It was unbelievable. The next morning in the 5 a.m. news, the television reported the unbelievable wrestling information of what happened last night in the wrestling arena. The Three Musketeers were still in California handling new missions. One of them saw the news on TV and recognized Bulk Requiem in the television report, and Gig asks JRE, "Wasn't it the last time when we tried to get rid of Bulk Requiem, he managed to get away? Now the news is saying he's back in town. Where can we find this man before the day ends?" To be continued. Bulk Hulk Part 2. Read more fiction stories. To be continued. Bulk Hulk Part 2. Read more fiction stories of the BR novel series. Check out our channel online to read the full book.